How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another One Piece Bounty Rush video. Today we're going to be doing a best attackers in the game video. I'm going to do the same for runners and defenders, but this was voted by members of my Discord, so if you want to join, I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, so this was voted by them. I made polls and people voted who they felt was the number 1 to 10 attackers in the game, and they did that for runners and defenders as well. So no more delay, let's just hop right into this video. Our number 1 spot, we have Akainu. So Akainu has been the number 1 attacker since he dropped, and still to this day, even with Kaido, you know, we expected Kaido to be more of a heavy counter to Akainu, but he wasn't. Kaido still beats Akainu pretty well, but Akainu can also beat Kaido, which is not something a lot of people were expecting. But yeah, so he can still incinerate Kaido as long as Kaido's below 80% HP, or if Kaido's on his treasure. And even without that, his damage he just does a lot of damage in general. And yeah, I know Roger's making a comeback right now, which I'll go over when I get to Roger. But you know, the more Rogers that show up, the more Akainu's is going to be good. So Akainu just kind of chills at number 1 spot for now. So number 2, you know, like I mentioned, we have Pirate King Goldie Roger. So Roger, he's been number 2 since, you know, Akainu dropped. He hasn't really dropped past number 2. Some would argue that Doffy was better than him for a month or two. You know, a very few amount of people would argue that, but you know, there are people who would. So Roger, he beats up Kaido so well. Like, he's perfect for this meta right now. Of course, you know, he has a lot of damage increase. He's just the one-shot machine. He just destroys everyone. So Kaido being blue was kind of a death flag for Kaido, but Kaido does hold up well against Roger in a lot of scenarios. But unfortunately for Kaido, he's just not tanky enough to be consistently tanking Roger. So Roger takes the number 2 spot, and on to the number 3. So for number 3, we have Young Doffy. Now Young Doffy took a hit with Kaido dropping, but not that big of a hit. Originally, I was overreacting. I was calling Doffy mid, fell off, ruined. But you know, yes, Doffy doesn't do that well against Kaido, but at the same time, Kaido doesn't kill him that easily either. So it's kind of a stalemate, because Doffy's going to be healing Kaido, while Kaido is just going to be, you know, attacking Doffy's shield. Doffy's going to be getting his skill cooldowns back. He's going to be getting his shield back. Kaido isn't going to be able to destroy Doffy that well. So, and yeah, Doffy against the rest of the meta is still literally one of the best attackers in the game. He manhandles Akainu. He can handle Roger. He can handle Odin. He can handle anyone except for the next unit that well. So number 4, we have Jack, who is pretty much Doffy's biggest counter right now, and he does just so much damage to Doffy. Roger, you can deal with as Doffy as long as you have your shield up, because Doffy's just gonna shred through Roger with his shield. He can play back and forth with Roger just going around the shield, but with Jack, no, that shield is going down. So yeah, Doffy just kind of gets shredded by Jack, and Jack overall is just a beast of a unit, man. He does so much damage to anyone, including Kaido. Actually, Doffy's a really good counter for Kaido if you want to play him. I wouldn't call him like a counter, but like a really good unit against him. So maybe, whatever, just a counter. This is basically what a counter is. But yeah, Jack at number 4. Number 5, we have Onigiri Law. Onigiri Law has been a staple in the top 5 attackers since he dropped. When he dropped, he was 2nd, and eventually he just dropped to number 5, but he's just been consistently top 5. He's a great all-around he's a great all-around attacker, and that he was an amazing trait, and it's kept Luffy relevant to this day. His room, he does so much damage. He shreds Roger in it. He can do well against Doffy, really well against Doffy, because his room passes through Doffy's shield. And yeah, he's just a great unit overall, and will do very well regardless of Kaido, because Law can take on most units in the meta right now. So Law takes the number 5 spot. Okay, so next we have Pell at number 6. Now Pell is a really good unit. He can do a lot of damage to pretty much anyone in the game. His shield shreds through a Kainu. His skill 1 shreds through a Kainu. His skill 2 can one-shot a lot of units in this game. So Pell rightfully takes his 6th place spot. You can use Pell right now and just be carried, honestly. Well, you have to watch out because he's really squishy, but other than that, like he can kill most units in this game without that much of an issue. So yeah, Pell at number 6. At number 7 we have Doffy. Now Doffy came out well over a year ago by now, and he's still a meta unit because of his amazing damage increase and his anti-heal. To be honest, like his anti-heal is very useful. It made him useful during Roger era despite being blue, and now he's still useful. So yeah, Doffy with his skill 2 can do so much damage. He can take people out of their invincibility. Even though it's a bit buggy sometimes, the unit will teleport away, but aside from that, like, it's an amazing skill, and Doffy's an amazing unit. So yeah. So at number 6, you guys may have, number 8, you guys may have been noticing this unit making the rounds in the community, but Chopper. Chopper can ignore damage reduction and ignore defense on skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 1 ignores damage reduction, skill 2 ignores defense. So this makes him a really good unit to use against Kaido, not just against Kaido, but against any defender, Kid, Frankie, just anyone. So yeah, that's why Chopper is so good right now. Though his downside is that he's really squishy, so if a unit can get rid of his skills or dodge his skills, Chopper's probably gonna die. But since Kaido's so relevant right now, Chopper being able to counter him so well lands him the 8th spot on this list. Number 9 we have Izo. So Izo is a recent step up unit, and he is relatively well known for being able to counter a Kainu with his multi-hit skills, but Izo overall just does a lot of good damage, and he's a really good attacker to use. Not the best one, but a really solid one, and will do you well if you decide to use him. I think he's gonna be relevant for a while, and I really like how he plays, and yeah, he takes the number 9 spot on this list. Finally, at number 10 is a really weird choice but I can really think, like, attacker is such a diluted pool of units. So if there was a lot of units to put at number 10, you could have Zoro, you could have Shanks, but at number 10 on the list is CP0 Lucci. Now CP0 Lucci is a relatively old unit. He came out with a Nell, so was a really long time ago. But yeah, he's still a solid unit. I wouldn't call him like good or really good anymore, but he's a solid unit. He can do well. He can kill Roger sometimes. Honestly, like, this is the most replaceable unit on this list. So honestly, this is a very debatable spot. So if you feel like someone else should be here, I don't disagree with you. But for now, Lucci takes his spot as he's a really solid unit. So that's the end of this list. Yeah, top 10 attackers in the meta right now, in my opinion, and the Discord's opinion. Yeah, let me know how you guys found this video. If you agree or disagree. The defender and runner will come out later on, probably next week, or maybe one this week and another next week. But yeah, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.